the right way. Let's make this thing happen. So, we are going to go over some things that have been said and why indeed things need to be done a bit more. And it's really funny that you're going to see Max Verstappen stands, you're going to see Max Verstappen baby mamas, you're going to see Max Verstappen troll, what do they call, like, as far as they're in this clan group, put two more K's with that. That's the type of Max Verstappen people you got out here. You're going to see Max Verstappen baby chick tramp stamp people popping up. You're going to see all types of Max Verstappen stuff. What's up, Mary Beanie? First in the live chat was popping. And you're going to see all types of stuff going on. But I'm going to tell you something. I just want to see what they are going to say about these things that we are going to discuss today. Because if they say that this is okay, if they say that this is warranted, if they say that indeed this is something that should be allowed or it's not that bad, then we know where they really are. We know that they are delusional. We know that they are biased. We know that they are they have the inability to be objective. What's going on? Maria Duncan second in the live chat on the podium, and Jefferson taking the third spot right there. So we're going to go piece by piece with this. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what Russell is saying. And this is one of the times, and Russell does say some things I agree with. This is one of the times that I fully agree with every single word that Russell said. Every single word that he said, I agree with it. So let's just start going through this. But first, let's go ahead and take a look over here at the document. We already should have seen this. We know that Max Verstappen, car 1, Red Bull Oracle at 17:03. Caused a collision with car 81 in turn 1. This is it. The Abu Dhabi GP. Also down there, see 10-second time penalty was issued, 2 penalty points. Now notice right here, Max has a total of 8 penalty points for a 12-month period.
Be ironic.
He's got a total of 8 penalty points for a 12-month period. That means, you got 2 more situations, basically, depending on how many points they give you. You got like 2 more situations to get in before you end up on a ban, a race ban. And honestly, I think they should have been considered the ban for Max Verstappen a while ago. It's just that, what's up, Dave's Quattro? It's just that the FIA have been laissez-faire. They've been biased. They've been real kid gloves with Max, and he's been able to get away with a lot, and that's why things are the way they are right now. So, as they say, car 1 attempted to overtake car 81 inside into turn 1, but never got far enough alongside. This is something that we have talked time and time and time and time again. And I do not know, for the breath of me, why people still try to argue with this as if this is not something that really exists. It exists, people. There is a reason these things are in place. I don't know what you're expecting, but we have been through this several times and we will go through it again. Example Alpha. In this case, the attacker is definitely more than halfway past the defender at the apex, which is the blue car. The attacker has the right to the racing line. A collision at the apex is entirely the fault of the defender. Okay? It is entirely the fault of the defender. All right. If we go to Bravo, attacker less than halfway alongside. And excuse me, the attacker is right there in the red car. Attacker less than halfway alongside. This would be Max Verstappen in the situation with Oscar. In this case, the attacker has only their front wing alongside the defender's rear wheel. The defender has the right to the racing line. A collision at the apex is entirely the fault to the attacker. I do not know, for the breath of me, why people still try to come in here and try to debate this and try to listen. Evidently it exists. And for all you damn trolls that come in here and say they don't really go by that, what do you call this in the document? It is funny that people come to this channel and they steady talk about how much they know about Formula One, how much we don't know about Formula One, and then a document comes out with literally the verbiage that we've been presenting to your dumb ass this entire time about, yes, this is a guideline. Yes, this is a standard that they go by to weigh the decisions on how they're going to issue penalties in situations. And the verbiage is right here. The stewards but never got far enough alongside. So could you please do me a favor? Stop trying to act like you know it all. Stop trying to act like just because you're a Max Verstappen baby mama stan fan and you're going to come here and call people Lewis Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton lovers, all this other stuff. This has nothing to do with Lewis Hamilton. This has exactly to do with, this is the guideline. And Max Verstappen has stepped across the line so many times in so many situations and got away with it so many more times in so many more situations that it is now becoming a problem. And it is going to become a problem that they either will not be able to ignore or they will be held accountable for in the court of law because something may transpire to the point that somebody loses their life, which is what we're going to talk about. So both cars collided shortly after the apex. The stewards determined that the driver of car one was holier than thou at fault and caused the collision. Not partly, not somewhat, but all the way. And I will say this. Can we not say that there is, matter of fact, that this guy comes up, because this is what I'm going to hint to. Can we not say that there is some even biasness or discrimination, should I even dare say, with the way they wrote this up? Because we've seen a situation with Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton where Max Verstappen clearly was at fault. He came in hot brakes, didn't have control of the car, end up colliding with Lewis Hamilton, and for some reason they felt that it was warranted to put in the document that although we feel like Lewis Hamilton, our driver of car 44, could have done more. What am I supposed to do when an asshole right there, there's the picture. There's the picture right there. What am I supposed to do when an asshole comes in without control of his car because he's locked up his brakes, which is why you see the skid marks there, and ends up colliding when I'm trying to make the turn on the apex that I've been doing for laps and laps? What else am I supposed to do? What, get them to put a big rear view mirror on here? Get Tesla to install proximity sensors and drive the car to just be out of control? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy the things that they say. So right here, car one, wholly at fault and caused a collision. Wholly at fault. Now, let's go ahead and talk about something because I'm going to tell you. It is definitely something that I completely agree with. We're going to talk about it piece by piece and let you talk about it amongst yourself in the live chat. But here we go. Now, let's go into this. For sure.
Be ironic.
Here it is right
when he
here.
comes.
All right. Russell says.
And he comes out and says, I'm going to purposefully crash into you. I'm going to put in the wall.
Okay, I want you to think about this. So right here, right now, Max Verstappen has threatened Russell. Could potentially translate into a death threat. Because this is what I do know. At some speeds, you would hope that all safety devices would work. You would hope that in the event of an accident, an incident, an unforeseen situation that led to a collision, and then drivers or one driver to go out of control, hit a wall, that all safety devices would do as they are designed to do and prevent fatal loss. That is what we would hope. But you cannot determine that. One cannot cause a chain of events in such a manner at high speeds with all of this machinery and be able to calculate extremely, extremely fine that you will be okay. So for Max Verstappen to tell somebody, Russell, that I am going to put you in the effing wall, you cannot calculate at what speed that's going to be, how that's going to happen, what force he's going to hit, and what kind of crazy situation may take care and in somebody else's life. For him to think that he can say that tells us that the FIA have failed at restraining and penalizing and reprimanding Max Verstappen this long that he thinks he can say something as Trumpish as that. Remember when Donald Trump said, I can go out here, I think he said Times Square, paraphrasing and just kind of going off memory. I can go out here in Times Square and shoot somebody, kill somebody, and walk away scot-free. Why would he think that? Because so long, the money, the shaking hands, people will let Donald Trump slide. He's gotten away with being racist, discriminating, sexist, misogynistic, sexualist, all of this. He thinks he can do that. Exciting January 6th, civil war on America in its own self. He thinks he can do that. Max Verstappen feels free and feels privileged enough to say such a thing to another competitor because he knows and doesn't feel like the FIA is going to do anything. He sits there and asks, why don't they just give me a 20-second time penalty? Because he thinks he should get no penalties. That's a problem. It's a problem. Just Sean clocking in, I see you.
For me, that is unacceptable. And he's gone beyond the line here, and I'm not going to accept it. And he cannot deal with adversity. Whenever anything is not going his way, he lashes out with unnecessary anger.
And here we go again. 083 dropping Wolfpack memberships in the live chat. Big shout out to Incredible Facts Quest. So here it is. How many times have we talked about this? How many times have I said it? Max Verstappen is emotional. Max Verstappen does not deal well with adversity. Max Verstappen does not deal well with being challenged. Max Verstappen is a front runner. Max Verstappen is soft. Max Verstappen cannot handle not having things his way like a petulant child. Here it is, a driver saying pretty much, in paraphrase, different words, exactly what I've been saying. Just Sean, first super chat on the channel, says he called the stewards idiots after. Because he believes he can talk to him like that. He believes he can talk to him like that. I was in, where was I? I think it was Target. Might have been Target. I was in Target. If you've never been to Target and went and got the GH Creators Caramel Cheese Popcorn, not quite as good as the Garrett's, but it's still good. You can go in there and check it out. And there was a kid that wanted something. I have no idea exactly what they wanted, but it was an aisle I was passing by. And was told no. This kid fell out on the floor and started acting crazy. The mother says, "Get up. You're embarrassing me." The child continues and gets louder. "Get up. You're embarrassing me." So she scoops the child up. The child goes and falls and drags and pulls. You know why? Because the child knows eventually this is what I'm going to do, and you're going to either give me my way, I'm going to embarrass the hell out of you, and you ain't going to do anything about it. For a child to think that they can carry on like that in the store after you've already told them what to do and they escalate the aggression, tells me at home and you not doing what you need to do. Max Verstappen, the FIA is not doing what they need to do. And Russell's example, and you know what I like? He's not going to accept it. Jefferson says, notice how they gave him the penalty equally after he won the World Driving Championship. When it really mattered, he got passes. Maybe they want us to think they're fair. You right, bro. They trying to have the illusion now that it doesn't have any impact. But no, you've done this several times before. Remember when he brake checked Lewis? Like you've issued Max Verstappen penalties in such a way that they don't really impact his ability to compete. They don't impact his driver championship points. They better step up and do something else. They're going to be looking real silly in real short order. And remember what I told you. I told y'all the moment Max Verstappen is more challenged, that these teams, these cars, and these drivers get more and more close to equally performance, you're going to see the real Max Verstappen come out. What did Oscar say? Yep. Move of a real champion there. This is who he is. He never changed. The only thing that changed was being in the most dominant car probably built in Formula One history, and being so far out in front that he didn't have to worry about anybody else. He didn't have to worry about sharing his toys. But now that he's more in the mix, he ain't been winning as much. And more of the Mad Max crash strapping, the shirts I wear, the things we say about him as far as his driving is real. It's never left. It was only suppressed by the gloating and the happiness of winning. All right, we can go to the rest of what Russell says.
And borderline violence. You know, seen it in Brazil in the past with Ocon. You saw it in 21 with Lewis, and then Mexico with Lando. First race of the year in Budapest when he didn't have the most dominant car, crashes into Lewis.
Wow. There it is right there. Russell is laying down. And this is not even all the situations. This is not even all the situations, crew. He's done way more than this. And by now, Max Verstappen should have been banned. Multiple times or banned from a season. He should have been banned. You don't think they checked the telemetry when he brake checked Lewis and realized he brake checked? You think it was a mistake the last couple of documents that we looked into, I think on this situation, and they omitted or failed to mention Max Verstappen's telemetry and data as supporting evidence for why they were going to issue the decision they issued? No, they didn't fail to enter that. They didn't enter it because they didn't want to substantiate the fact that they are being lackadaisical on penalizing a driver who is consistently being a ruckus in the sport of Formula One, who is consistently thinking that he is above all standards in Formula One because you all let him think that.
And his whole team.
Then let's talk about that. We already know. What does Russell do? What does he do? Russell brings out the fact that he slams his team. That's Max Verstappen. Slams his team. Takes little accountability, takes very little accountability. I'm going to say that just to still be objective. To still say that there might be somewhere, somehow in his life that he says that's my fault. But as much as we've seen, Max is quick to blame GP. He's quick to blame his team. He's quick to blame somebody else. He's quick to blame it on the alcohol. He's quick to blame a lot of things. I've already told you, dude's not a role model. I've already just said these things. But you know what else is really funny? What is really funny is this. Had Lewis Hamilton said exactly or similar to these things in such a way and goes on as long as Russell does, could you imagine the Max Verstappen Trumpers, the Max Verstappen stands, the Max Verstappen roaches and rats that would be coming at Lewis Hamilton as if he's making up lies, as if this is not true, as if he's crying? All the damn puns, jokes, disrespectful and derogatory terms will come out. But Russell, okay, maybe we'll just ignore it, or we'll talk a little bit, but not as much. What is that about? What is that about? What's the difference in Lewis Hamilton saying this and Russell saying this? Care to tell me? I don't want to say it. I'm going to let them see what they'll say.
Not a guy who I respect. As I said, I've known Max for 12 years. I've respected him all of this time. But now I've lost respect for him because we're all fighting on track and it's never personal. Made it personal. And so
this is what he's saying. And one thing that I am not going to give Max Verstappen a pass on is this. I'm going to say it because I can say it in such a way where I don't have to list outcome. I have been raised and I have grown up around murderers. Now, maybe they're not out here. They ain't out here murdering just people. They caught up in this gang life. They caught up in a bad upbringing. No excuse. And I done been around murderers, serving prison life sentences. I done been around the dope game, people 10 to 15. My cousin did 20 years, armed robbery, served his time. All right. I done been around plenty. I've done some things in my life that I'm not always proud of. But what I will say is this. I ain't out here doing that. I take care of my family. I learned as a kid growing up in that environment of what it can do. I've seen the outcomes. I've seen what men, no, not even men. I've seen what males who don't respect women do. Never done that. Won't do it. So I'm not giving Max Verstappen the benefit of the doubt of being a product of his daddy. Because what I can tell you is at a certain point, at a certain age, you realize what's right and what's wrong. Even if you've done wrong and you realize you shouldn't be doing it anymore, you come to a point where I'm going to do right, or I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Max Verstappen's ass is grown enough. Max Verstappen's about to have a child, I heard. If this is what you think is okay, I do not know if you are strong enough mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to make a change for the better to change the outcome of generations going forward. I ain't giving you no pass about what your daddy did. You know what your dad did was wrong. And this is the kicker. When people talk about how they were treated and this is why I'm treating you bad. So you mean to tell me you went through a situation, it sucked, you hated it, it troubled you. And instead of saying to yourself, I won't do that to somebody else because it damaged me and hurt me, I'm going to go ahead and pass it along. I'm going to go ahead and just do these same things as somebody else. That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
No one needs to stand up to a bully like this. But the words he said is totally unnecessary. He's crossed the line and I'm not going to accept it. So
now this is what I want to know. Russell's talking about he passed the line. He's not going to accept it. I'm telling you. I told y'all this already. It's certain drivers that's coming up that's going to be like, I'm finna press you. Oscar held his own. And I believe Oscar will do it again. He is going to teach Max Verstappen that you will not be pulling these shenanigans with me. Jefferson says he always took things personal. He a crybaby. He a big crybaby. Max a crybaby, and the people that really support, there are people like Baraka. Baraka is not that type. I know plenty of Max Verstappen fans that are objective and be like, yo, I know plenty of Max Verstappen fans that are like, yo, I don't care for that dude personally and what he do, but on track, I just like him as a driver because he's very competitive. And then have to come back and say, what he did was jacked up. At least they can be objective. But there are Max Verstappen fans that are like whores to Max Verstappen. And these whores go out and they campaign and they drop comments and they try to troll you. They are literally Max Verstappen whores for hire. Like, how do you live your life? Like, just going out being a Max Verstappen whore. You just want to go out and troll and come back for Max Verstappen. Like, you don't even have a channel. You don't even have a platform. You just spend your time going out with no type of constructive criticism and just be a Max Verstappen whore. It cracks me up. It cracks me up. Most of them come here more than they do what they got to do in their own life. They come here to comment and try to trash us on comments and critiques. It's crazy. They don't even realize how dumb they look. Mary Beanie saying, Jay, today is the anniversary 8021. Never forget. Facts. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget that. I mean, they spend their time here. They literally spend their time here. They're fans of the channel. They fans of me, fans of the channel, because they come here so much. It's crazy, but these are the things that delusional Max Verstappen fans will do. They'll hear something like this and say, oh, it's okay that Max said that he gonna purposely put somebody in the wall. Oh, is it? Let me put your head in the wall and see how you feel about it. Let's see how you feel about that.
You know, somebody has to stand up to someone who thinks he's above the law. And was the penalty harsh? Maybe it was a little bit harsh, but these are the rules. We all have the rules and we all have to follow it. It almost feels like...
Now listen, he's saying we all got rules. We all have the rules. Even to give an objective criticism that maybe the penalty in some ways could look harsh, but these are the rules. Max Verstappen thinks he's above the rules. For real. I got a Stinky One, brother. I got it. Matter of fact, Stinky One, when I get off here, bro, I'm calling you. I get hella busy. I got a truck up in the air. I'm changing out a master cylinder. When I end this live stream, I just saw you pop up, brother, and I see you a yellow bat. When I end this live stream, I am calling you as soon as I click in, bro, so we could talk. Stinky One, part of Delta Zero Productions. We will be doing a racing series, trying to get that together. I'm gonna be part of it by trying to add and collect, add to the prizes on that. All the Wolfpack drivers, you are welcome to it. We got to get that set up, and that's on me, Stinky One. That's on me, Justin, but I got you, brother. So yeah, he feels like, you know, it's double standards. He feels like the rules don't apply to him. And this can be seen by his actions.
He expects a double standard, you know, and if it's not going his way, then it's pretty ironic.
Like I said, if it's not going his way, it ain't going no way. That's how he is. And he said, Shepard says, MV fans equal kings and queens of gaslighting. Facts, bro. All day. All day. Kings and queens of gaslighting. And I told you, did you realize when Max Verstappen, the back half of his season, you realize how quiet they got? You realize how quiet they got when they didn't really know if Lando was going to really compete and might end up taking that championship. They got quiet as shit. They didn't start coming back out in numbers until they realized, okay, mathematically, Max has got this in the bag. We can come back out and we got our makeup on. We can take the sunlight now. I'm telling you, they horrible. They funny, man. They're funny. They crack me up. I'm trying to tell you, they crack me up when I'm on here. Outside of y'all, I don't even think about them people unless we on here. And every now and then I come by a comment and I just laugh. But these are the things that we dealing with. But see, more important than that, this is what's indicting on certain people, and especially Max Verstappen. You do not tell somebody you are purposely going to put them in the wall unwarranted. Like it's different if you come to me and let's say you ran me off the road. Yeah, I might tell you I'm going to put you in the wall next time. If you ran me off the road, I might tell you that. You know, if you tried to put me in the wall, I might tell you next time, bro, I might have to put you in the wall, right? Max Verstappen just goes about and starts throwing temper tantrums like this just because he don't get his way. Max Verstappen thinks it's okay to put his nose in there uncontrolled. Damn, it's funny that this comes right up when I'm talking about uncontrollably and then think, oh, I got the right to that apex. I got the right to the apex. No, the way you got it was not of a good standard. They have to check down in this. They have to make sure that they start tightening down on this at the very beginning of the season. They don't want to do something. They have to try to adjust the max rules and then try to make it right because they realize how far it got wrong. That's not the way you go about doing that. It's not a good way to go about doing things. So I don't know what's going to happen next season. I did already tell many people, and I'm going to wait because we're going to do a season recap because you already know, like, we have the drivers that you see right here. We got them up here and we graded them, and you know whether they trended up or trended down from the season to season. So this time we're doing from 2023 to 2024. So this graphic will change and we'll update that, and we're going to talk about all of those situations. And you know, 2021, they like to hold on to that. Well, maybe Max Verstappen should have gave space and stayed where he was instead of trying to come down and punk Lewis Hamilton in the corner and then got his ass, spun his own ass out and put himself in the wall. Maybe he should have considered that. But hey, I told you all, they are going to have to, as a driver, not the FIA. I have little faith in the FIA. I got a little faith in the FIA at all. So I'm talking about drivers. More drivers are going to have to start doing what Oscar Piastri is willing to do, which is stay in there and force Max to be in the same hot water that he's trying to put me in and see where we end up. Russell seems like he's getting that point, and we've seen some things with Russell where it looks like he'll do it. You're right. Russell may very well be there. Next season, we're going to see that. Also, don't forget about some of these other rookies on here. They not looking up to Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen has not been anybody's role model. I haven't heard one of these rookies say, yeah, Max Verstappen, I watched him the whole time. No, most of these drivers I mean, it's even Alonso, it's Lewis Hamilton, it's Senna, it's not, they do not respect Max in that regard to the point where it is. Most of the situation with respect to Max was given because I don't have the car. I don't really have the car to combat you. So it damages my race more than anything to sit here and try to toil with you. I might as well kind of do what I can do and then kind of you're going to get by. But when these drivers have a car where they feel I have a real opportunity to be in the top 5, top 3, you're in my way, I'm trying to tell you, things are about to start getting spooky. Like Baraka says, spooky hours. It's going to get spooky. There are teams that should indeed be improving. And we do say this, and then what do we see? These teams don't necessarily improve. And let me let y'all know something else. Let me let y'all know something else. Let me just tell you something. The haters that be in the live chat, this is what's funny. How are you in the live chat if you're not a subscriber to the channel? That's what's fun. How are you in the live chat if you're not a subscriber to the channel? How are you in the live chat if you didn't subscribe at least 20 minutes or more? That means you sat here 20 minutes waiting for me? I really own space in your head and your life. 20 minutes you waited to get in here with us and start trying to talk trash. That is so funny. Yeah, think about it. Think about it. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I think next season is going to be interesting. 2025, we've been waiting. I do want to say this. I know we were waiting for 2025, right? Especially after the Lewis Hamilton situation with Ferrari, and everybody's like, oh, this is going to be something to watch. I don't know how great it's going to be yet. But facts, bro. Adrian, facts, bro. Make that make sense. Like, right? Like you hate us so much, hate me so much, but you will wait 20, 30 minutes just so you can get in and try to be seen as crazy. But I don't know how great it's going to be. I do have good hopes that it is going to be a continuation, a progressive continuation of from this season to next season, especially with the additive to Lewis Hamilton. I did also say I would have liked to see Adrian Newey make a better decision as far as how he's going to close the chapter on his Formula One career. Because I do think Adrian Newey, after Aston Martin, I think he might decide to just go chill. So I do wish he would have done better with that. Now, also, McLaren this season did better starting off. Next season, hope they continue. Mercedes, here and there, hopefully they can be there next season. There's some adversity. There's some other perspectives I have about Mercedes that don't mind them going to poop, but all in all, it's good for racing and it's good for the sport, for real, honestly. It's been good for the sport, even seeing Alpine and Haas kind of come out of nowhere on the last quarter of the season and kind of leave you scratching your head like, what they got going on, right? So we're going to talk about all that when we do the recap and we go through all that. So it's been a situation. But, I just saw something. Maria Duncan, I just saw that. Even though when I saw the NBA, you grabbed my attention because I happened to look down. If you listen, that is a critical, and that is something that I was just talking about the other day. It is absolutely crazy that referees, that coaches get the consideration and the passes they get when they affect the game negatively, when they do their job inappropriately and get skate. But you let a player call out the wrongdoings of a referee and the league is finding them. Tell me what that's about. Tell me that is not some crazy stuff. Tell me that ain't crazy, right? That's crazy. That means we're going to go into a whole different thing on that. But listen, big shout out to everybody. You already know what the business is. We're going to be back here again this week. We're going to try to have a Discord probably this weekend. I'm going to try to set that up so we can have more of those as the offseason goes, like at least once a week get together. Plus of course, we got the racing, the grudge racing that we're going to start setting up that too. But I'm also going to spend a little bit more time with the family as well. Here and there, we're going to try to mix those in. But without that being said, Jay from Wolfpack, Max Verstappen, under pressure. Jefferson says McLaren's only hope is Pia. Lando submits to Max all the time, brother. He submits to Max all the time. He like Max doorman. He gonna have to get some Oscar Piastri gonads for real. So other than that, Wolfpack out. Jay, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace.